And welcome back to the Average White Guys. My name's Alex Haynes, one of the owners of A Squared, and we're a marketing consulting firm that helps people get noticed online. Whether it's coaching, consulting, or done-for-you services, we help people make a splash with social media and digital marketing. And I'm here with the illustrious, the amazing, you know him as Justin Scouten LLW. To everyone else, he's a demigod. Don't tell anybody. Here he is. Say hi, Justin.
Hey everybody, this is Justin with LLW Properties and Community Real Estate Services. Thank you for joining us.
And what are we talking about today?
Going from good to great. And part of that is, how do you get there? Is it the 10,000 hours or is it AI?
You know what? I think it could be a little bit of both, to be honest. So let's jump right into this. So you mentioned this already, but for some people out there, they haven't heard about the 10,000 hour rule. Justin, do you know what the 10,000 hour rule is?
Kind of speaks for itself, but it's any subject or enhancement you want to make. You're putting in 10,000 hours worth of time to technically what they say, master it. And that can be anywhere from your business. It can be sports. It can be art. So any area of where you want to truly master a subject.
I think that's a perfect explanation to what we're talking about. So today, I really wanted to kind of dive into the journey of the 10,000 hours and to see if there's anything we can do to make that a shortcut. And why sometimes it's just not a shortcut and you have to spend the time. But to kind of start this off, I thought maybe I'd tell a little bit about our past. So if you're a new listener to this podcast, you haven't listened to this stuff, my name's Alex Haynes and I own a marketing company. Actually marketing consulting now. So see, in 2010, we started a production company doing video. You might be asking, how do you go from video to consulting? Well, that's 15 years in the making. We learned how to turn amazing content, videos, into millions of dollars of revenue for our clients. And over time, and by spending tens of thousands of hours learning about how to do this marketing, we realized we could help more people by consulting, coaching, and training. So we took all that information and we built out our own platform and we're doing some really cool stuff. But it took us all this time to master the skill and become what people now call us savants and pioneer in AI and digital marketing. Justin, do you have anything like this? I mean, am I the only person who spent this type of time really honing their skills?
No, and if we look at this podcast, this is a item right now where I am trying to build the skill of being better at giving podcasts or doing podcasts, I guess is a better way to say it. With that, I've been exploring what I'm in a group called Toastmasters. It's where you learn to be a better speaker. And I've been doing it for 15 years now. And at first I was just doing it to be a little bit better at speaking, not being so nervous in front of crowds. But really it's helped me with my business because of the fact of I have to run board meetings. I have to give presentations. Sometimes I got people screaming and yelling because associations aren't doing what they want, even though they are doing the right things. And so with that, it has taken me a long time to get to that point of doing what we call table topics, impromptu speaking. I have to give speeches. I went from white knuckling the lectern to now I can give impromptu speeches with just 2 topics and give a beginning, middle, end, and sound reasonable with it if I just even have that subject within an hour. So to me, that is almost mastering it. Now I'm just working on the small perfections, but it's those small things that build up over time that you don't realize it.
I think that's a great story to highlight what we're going to talk about today, which is really what it takes to elevate your offerings and your products to that next level, how to go from good to great, right? And so when I think about this, reaching your goals requires a lot of patience and perseverance. You kind of talked to us a little bit about how you started white knuckling and then over time, through repetition, you got better.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's accurate.
So I think for our audience, it's important to really recognize that progress is made through small, consistent steps. Now, I know as someone who's a big dreamer, a big action guy, small steps has never been a strong suit for me. Luckily, I had my business partner, and I talk about my business partner a lot in this podcast because he's kept our business afloat in spite of me trying to Titanic it all the time. I constantly was like, hey, let's aim for that giant pillar of snow there and crash the ship because I have this great big idea. He constantly pulls me back from the ledge saying, no, one little step at a time, and we'll eventually get there. Because he's a blueprint and a knowledge type, he's kept me on track to do those little things consistently to set us up for success.
Part of your 10,000 hours.
Definitely. He has definitely drilled that into me, constantly going back, looking at what we're doing, making sure we're correct, diving in, understanding stuff before actually just jumping into it. Now, luckily, because I am the action person, the good news is I have the motivation to get it done. So I took his blueprint and my action and we made progress. That's really this whole thing. So remember, every effort you put in brings you one step closer to your goal. Even missteps were a huge one for us. There's things that I totally screwed up, but I learned a lot from it and was able to apply it to our business later on. But one of the things I want to talk about, Justin, I kind of wanted your opinion on this, was what you thought about shortcutting the 10,000 hour amount using AI.
If you would have brought this up to me even 6 months ago, I wouldn't have said it was possible. But some of the things you've shown me and what our company is incorporating has taken us to the next level on just being able to utilize it to help with programs, to help with any of the other technologies that we're trying to incorporate in the business that help us and help our clients. And so, yes, I think it can excel a business by taking those shortcuts, but you have to really look at it though, is it's little minor shortcuts. You still have to put in the hours. You still have to learn how to do it. You still have to hire the right people like you to go ahead and help them understand it, because otherwise you're not going to get the benefit out of it of what you need.
I think that's huge. And for our listeners out there, there's a lot to take away from what he just said. You understand that we help people with AI a lot. And for what we can do, we take what we're good at and turn it into exceptional. I can't tell you how many clients I've sat down, have 1 hour conversation with, walk away, create a voice print, create all this stuff in the background, put in a prompt, hit a button, and they then say, oh my goodness, or another word if you want to use it, we're trying to keep this clean. This is amazing. How does this sound exactly like me, but elevated? How did you make me sound so smart? Well, because we're already good at doing what we did. This took us to that next level, made us exceptional.
One of the things I'd say about AI, though, is it's still now a new practice that you're learning. So even though the technology is there, it can help you enhance things, it can make the shortcuts that you talked about, I still think it's a new practice that you still have to learn, because you have to be better at AI to know how to use it appropriately and make it excel your business.
Absolutely. 100%. You can't just hit a button and magic happens. There's a lot we had to put into this to really understand how to leverage AI for our business. I'll be honest with our audience. I did spend about 10,000 plus hours learning how to use AI. I've developed shortcuts to help people learn it way faster, including creating prompts for people they can copy and paste. And I have students who now are learning from me how to create entire bits of content. We have something called the content machine, where we teach people to use one prompt to create 15 to 20 pieces of content, so they don't have to worry about coming up with social media ideas, right? These are things we've learned how to do. And even earlier, today even, here's a great example. I used AI to build something that would have taken me 6 months to a year to figure out how to master. And the result was pretty good. And Justin, you actually tried this. We're not going to talk about what it was, but was it a decent output?
Yes, I was amazed. When you said you did this within 3 hours, I was amazed with what it could do. And that's where the shortcuts can help you.
Well, here's a cool thing too. I want to point out to our listeners, when I'm saying what I just created, which took 3 hours, was good. It wasn't amazing yet. But here's the cool thing. We can go from meh to good in a way shorter amount of time, which means now we can polish that and take 2,000, 5,000 hours if we wanted to get it to exceptional, to get it to amazing. Can you imagine that project we were working on? If people are curious, we worked on a bot. We worked on an AI bot that let us help plan out these podcasts a little bit better. And it was just simple Q&As that we could answer and automatically put stuff together for us to help us plan. Can you imagine that next level, how much cleaner it might look and how the user interface might be better?
Well, one of the things that I liked about how you were explaining it to me and asking me to give you feedback on that was you were breaking it down like if you ever work on the graphic designs and somebody is trying to help you figure out what you maybe want for a t-shirt or a website design. And with that, you need to break it down into what colors exactly, because there's 200 or 5,000 yellows. And so what you were helping me with is making me understand if you break it down slowly, then now you can use AI better. And if you use somebody that knows AI, then you can really explore the benefits that it can take with it.
Yeah, I think that leads us to our last point for this. And I think this is really going to be helpful to the listeners. And I think this is important, whether you take the time, because not everything can be done AI, right? If you're a chef right now, AI is not going to take your job, right? It can't cut for you. It can't do that thing that you do, that magic you add to it. So you're not worried about it. But for those who are working in like the content creator space, or you're looking to like write or automate certain things, AI could be a huge, powerful tool. But one of the ways to make sure, whether you're spending 10,000 hours or whether you're using AI, is that feedback loop. Getting feedback, analyzing that feedback, and then implementing it, rinse, repeat, right? Repetitive tasks over and over again makes things better. It's like sharpening a sword or a knife or even an axe. That consistent, repetitive task of refining over and over and over again and only focusing on that is where you go from good to great.
It's just putting in the hours. It's doing the work. Whether you have a shortcut or not, you still need to put in the work to get anything completed. So as much as AI can help, as much as any other shortcut can help, you always need to make sure that you are putting in the work. As an entrepreneur, we always look for those shortcuts. Is there a way that we can get home earlier? Is there a way we can spend more time with our family? Any of those type of things. But no matter what, if you want to excel, put in the work, whether it is using those shortcuts or not.
Yeah, I think that's huge. And remember, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. All the time, I hear people go, well, I wish I could do that. Well, you don't have to wish. You just have to take 10 to 15 minutes a day and make it a priority. This goes back to what we've talked about in some of our other podcasts, which Just and I practice is that one thing. You have to make it a priority if you want to achieve those goals. It's that slight edge. Small steps over a long period of time equals big results. You want big change? Start with the first step. Well, we really hope this was a podcast that really fed you guys and you had some things you could take away from it. Now, if you did, there's a couple things we'd love for you to do. We'd love for you to like this podcast, share it with a friend, and of course, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, we are
The Average White Guys.